Hi, this is Rachel again. I just want to make a brief follow-up to my last video about the child safeguarding policy in Australia. I've been reading through the statement that Terence O'Brien and Rodney Spinks submitted to the Royal Commission in Australia. I've printed it out here. And in it they also answer to the Commission's request for information about how the organisation meets the 10 elements of child safe institutions. Now this 10 elements was part of a report that was released last year that you can download from the website, and it goes through 10 features, if you like, they call them elements, of an organisation which would make it, well, you know, it would be considered child safe. So Rodney Spinks and Terence O'Brien had to explain how the organisation met those requirements. Although they stated that many of those things didn't really apply to their organisation because, unlike many other religious organisations, they did not have things like Sunday school and creches where children would be separated from their parents. And it was stressed over and over again in this 24-page document that Jehovah's Witnesses did not separate children from their parents. But we know that that isn't the case because they are often separated as a matter of necessity and practicality when it comes to going out in the field ministry. You know, children will often accompany adults other than their parents in the field ministry, and just recently released on JW Broadcasting is a video, I think it's called Finding Friends in Unexpected Places, something like that, where it features a boy who's a teenager attending school, so technically speaking he is a minor, towards the more mature end probably, but it shows him, he's lonely, he hasn't got friends, and one of the older men in the congregation seeks him out and invites him out into the field service with him. And of course field service is organised by the organisation. There's the book that's published for that purpose, you know, organised to do Jehovah's will, you know, which is the ministry. I mean, that's why they're called Jehovah's Witnesses, because they're witnessing. That's the whole focus of the organisation. And of course the field service groups are arranged following instructions that ultimately come from the governing body, and every member is, every baptised member is required to put in a field service report at the end of each month, which is collated by the organisation. So the ministry is an organisational activity, yet they don't seem to mention that at all in this document. So that's, yeah, something that's kind of misleading. But the main thing I just wanted to mention here in this document is the response that Spinks and O'Brien made to point 6, which was part of the elements, the 6th element in this report that the ARC released last year. And it was that processes to respond to complaints of child sexual abuse are child focused. So an institution that is considered child safe has to fulfill that. It has to be child focused, the responses. But I don't really believe that, even with the improvements that the organisation has made, you know, in providing a child safeguarding document in Australia for all members of the congregation, except that you still have to ask for it through the coordinator of the body of elders, so they're just not pinning it on the board or anything. Yeah, still, I don't believe the child is of first concern here. It seems to me that the main focus is legalities, you know, meeting the legal obligations. It's not really thinking about the child and whether the abuse has really taken place, you know, if the accused denies it. I think if the organisation really approached this in a child-focused way, their main concern would be for the child and whether the child has actually been sexually abused. What they should be doing, if they are child-focused, is to immediately call the Child Protective Services, who have the trained personnel who will investigate, and they will carry out a forensic interview of the child. And because a child who's been sexually abused isn't necessarily going to reveal all the details of their abuse, even to a parent or to the elders, who are quite intimidating. And just think, if a child is perhaps accusing their uncle, who might be their mother's brother, you know, there's the feelings of the parents that are going to come into this as well. And in the I think in all the documents that are available now, like for the branch service desk, and the letter to the body of elders, I think all of those documents now say that it's very rare, I should say, that the elders would be required to interview a minor regarding their sexual abuse. So that means that whoever the minor is reporting their allegation to, that person takes it to the elders. But how do we know whether they're going to report everything that the child had told them? Like if for example, the accused is related or friends with the person to whom the child reported the allegation. So yeah, there's just too many holes there. But with a forensic interview by qualified and trained people, they are trained to recognise when a child is telling the truth. They are trained to be able to question a child in such a way as they will reveal relevant information without them being led in a certain direction. I mean, because if the main goal is to protect the child and to help the child, then it needs to be established whether they have been abused. So I think this is the way that organisations should go. Just report all allegations of sexual abuse to the proper authorities, who will then carry out such an investigation for the welfare of the child. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth on the matter. You can look up online and read about forensic interviews, what exactly they are and why they're necessary. I talked a little bit about it on my last video. But yeah, to me that seems the way to go if the organisation really is child focused when it comes to their responses to allegations of sexual abuse. Anyway, I'll leave it for there. My last video was way too long and I don't want to make this one way too long either. Okay, bye.